What's going on, everybody? This is the Silent Gamer, and I'm back with another video. And today we're going to talk about a topic that interests me, and I think with what's going on, it could easily disrupt everything that has been going on with this said topic. Now, we all know that ROMs and emulators and ROM sites have been around forever. You know, it's been around for a long time where you can take a ROM basically from a game, which is basically the game, dump it on the internet, and you can use it for an emulator. You can put it in an EverDrive. You can put it on an SD card to play on your phone. You can put them on your PC, and you can do all kind of things with those ROMs. And also ISOs, which is, you know, a copy of a disc in digital form. Well, so today I realized one of the sites that's pretty prominent has changed to another website, and they said that, you know, they're basically shutting down what they have. And I think it's all because of what Nintendo was doing. Now, if you don't know about that as well, I'll give you a little insight on that. Nintendo has been doing a cease and desist, or they actually have been shutting down certain websites who distribute their ROMs, their IPs. And I think one of the names were Love ROMs, and another one was Love Retro or something like that. I don't know. I don't really mess with those sites or anything like that. But MU Paradise has changed like out of the blue, and they said they're going to go to another website. They got their database. They're doing everything somewhat proactively to alleviate whatever what may come their way. And I know that this may have something to do with Nintendo, and that could be a really big deal to way things can going. Because I think Nintendo pretty much sued those other two sites I was talking about. It was like they were searching for $150,000 per IP or per game that they had on their site that they were just distributing, and that could be a pretty big penny. And I don't know if they're still suing them or anything like that. All I know is that those sites don't exist anymore, and for all intents and purposes, MU Paradise is one of the biggest ones that I know of. It's one of the websites that I've known about for pretty much ever since I started, you know, learning about ROMs or whatever the case may be. I also know about other websites. I'm pretty much not going to talk about them here. I mean, Google is your friend. You can check them out. But it's kind of funny that Nintendo's really going after these people. And I do believe that it's just because you're stealing people's IPs. But personally, I just find it funny because this has been going on for so long. You know, I guess better late than never. Honestly, I feel that if you're just taking someone's game, someone's IP, someone's intellectual properties, and you're just distributing them over the internet without any with any permission, I mean that's illegal. I mean stuff like that could personally I doubt if anyone's actually been convicted or charged or prosecuted or anything like that. But technically it is illegal. You also have where people are trying to curtail this whole situation to make it not legal, and they was trying to give you all type of tips and pointers about what you can do. You can have the ROM for a set amount of time, or you can have you can only download games that you own, or whatever the case may be. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's still illegal, no matter how you put it. And for me personally, my experience with it, I've always been curious with downloading ROMs or whatever the case may be. I always wanted to do it because there are some games that I just could not get a hold of. Now this was prior to me getting a collection and started, really getting into games or whatever, as far as having them for my own and having a game room or whatever the case may be. But I think at the end of the day, I kind of backed away from it. Even when I had a PC, I downloaded some emulators, and I actually wanted to see how they go. I never really got into the emulation scene like I wanted to. I thought it was cool just to have it on the PC, but I never really got down as like, okay, I'm just going to download a whole bunch of ROMs and be cool. But if you decide to, Google is your friend. You should know how to do it and go to any of these websites, show you how it's done. Now, I haven't really got into it, but I have burned a copy of some games that I wanted that to work with, and some of them was like very expensive, and some of them were like just really obscure, and some of them just didn't work properly in the form that it was come out in. Now I'm going to show you one of these games. Now you see this is a Dreamcast copy of Street Fighter Alpha 3. Now you probably wonder why I have this, and basically I have it. I mean, I do have the real game. I don't have the cover, but the front cover, but I do have the game. The problem with this game per se, this one runs with VGA, real good, nice 480p, clean cut on the Dreamcast, but it's so clean and it's so crisp that it's kind of pixelated. So what I do is, this game doesn't work very well with SCART. And I mean, we can go through SCART inputs one day. I may make a video about that. If you don't know anything about SCART inputs, it's basically a European input that you put into your television. It's kind of no similar than like an HDMI plug, but it's just something that was way back then that works really good. And this copy was patched in to work with SCART, so I can get a smoother look instead of very pixelated. And with the patch, I didn't know how to put the patch into the real copy, so I burnt this copy. But as far as actually pirating games, it's just like, you know, I get it, I understand it, and but I do understand why Nintendo was doing what they're doing, and then I know another side of why people would do it. There are some games out there that are very expensive, and that you just can't get a hold of anymore. And if you do, you're going to pay a lot of money for. I mean, I have 3 games right here I'm going to show you that are like pretty much hard to come by, and a lot of them are like shoot 'em ups. They're shmups, and a lot of people, you know, especially in the retro gaming community, really like playing with these games. And with that being said, I want to show off the first one. This one right here is Super LS. Now this game right here, I talked about this on Shumps Week. Pretty much all 3 of these games I talked about on Shumps Week when I did my Shumps Week video. And this game right here is very expensive. I think this game right now run you maybe about $90. But if you want the actual Super Nintendo version, that game is almost $400 to $500. So people are just going to say, F it, I'm just going to download it and I'm going to put it on my, you know, Super Nintendo Classic, or I'm just going to play it on my computer. So, I mean, I understand it. I mean, some people do it for self-preservation. Some people are just broke. So, and this is another game, Donpachi for the Sega Saturn, another shooter game. And it's another game that's probably cost you about $80, $90 right now. Some people burn a copy and just play it on their hack Saturn, or they'll play it on their Saturn emulator on their PC. Now this game, I don't know about too many people actually, you know, burning or like copying this ROM. But this is a very expensive game, Musha for the Sega Genesis. This game could run maybe around $300-400, and who is going to pay that kind of money? So they're like, forget it. I'm just going to, you know, burn a copy, or I'm just going to download it, and I'm just going to put it in my, you know, Sega, you know, ROM cart or EverDrive, or I'm just going to put it on my emulator on my PC. So I get it why people do it. But at the same time, it's like it's stealing, and I understand what Nintendo was doing at the end of the day. Nintendo's like, look, we want to protect our IPs, and we're going to, you know, first, I remember they were talking about like the cease and desist thing, but now they're really talking about throwing lawsuits at people. Now, like I said, I think Love ROMs and Love Retro website game, or whatever it's called, they basically threw you know, $150. I think it's somewhere between $150,000 or $200,000 per game that's on their site. And like I said, MU Paradise is changing their website, and I know, based on my experience going to that site, I know they have a lot of ROMs and a lot of ISOs. And like I said, I mean, it's just, it is what it is. Like I said, I've been there. You know, this is one game in particular, Street Fighter Alpha 3, that I actually have you know, burned off the site. I mean, do I burn? I mean, this is like a time when I didn't have any games, and I just got to the point and said, you know, I'm just gonna start buying my games, because, you know, even having those games, you know, downloaded on, you know, your PC or whatever, it just feels kind of hollow. You have those type of games on your, you know, on your computer, and you just pirating stuff and whatever the case may be. You know, I have a friend of mine, well, I guess I can call him a friend, on Twitter. I always brag on, you know, bash him about, you know, pirating games or whatever. But I mean, there was a point that I did it because I just didn't have the games. You know, I was in college and I just, you know, I wanted to play some games. But You know, I mean, I'm not holier than thou. It is what it is, but now I don't know how this whole thing is going to come from now. I don't think they're ever going to stop it. I mean, you can look at like the torrent sites, Kick-Ass Torrents. They're still around. Pirate Bay has been down for a while, but I think you can still get to that site. I mean, you can still get games pretty much anywhere. So, do I recommend it? I mean, look, you do what you do. I mean, me personally, it's nothing like having a real copy of the games. That's just me. I mean, I have a lot of Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo. I got pretty much all the consoles, and the collection I got is basically games that I want to play. You know, I just don't get games just to get them. I probably make an exception for this console. I may make an exception for that, but at the end of the day, it's like there's just some games on the original Xbox I'm just not going to get. But I just want to get games to play them, and it just feels satisfying to own the copies of the games instead of just, you know, just pirating them and, you know, just having them set on some hard drive and you just play them at will. Convenient, yes, but at the end of the day, you're just going to feel some kind of way. So I hope you guys really watched this video. I hope you got to this point and hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section what you think about what Nintendo was doing. Let me know your experience with these websites. And I just want to know if you still, you know, download games or you have them on your computer to this day. Or you have them on a flash drive or EverDrive or whatever. You just play them on your console. You just don't have the money for these games. So just let me know, man, and I hope you guys enjoyed. You guys take care. Peace.